Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Well, in the Eliminator, Lucknow has been annihilated. That's what has gone down. Stop it. Don't. Pommie starts giggling and then I just lose focus.
I'm quiet.
Yeah.
I'm quiet in the corner here.
He was taking his run up. He was like, it's going to come. Tell you who's not giggling. It's Lucknow. Their fans, their support staff, their players perhaps, because Mumbai has completely, Michael, help me here. What's the word with O? Obliterated?
Correct.
Oh, I did it right. What do you know? That's a lot of English from me. 81 runs. That's the margin. We said when Mumbai won the toss, batted first, got to 182, we said, they're about 15 above par. We didn't think they'd be 150 above par. Right? This has been a comprehensive performance from them, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Mumbai, it's at this stage, they generally know how to win big games of cricket. I think getting runs on the board was crucial, but I think it was the way that they got the runs showed me that they were really on it. You know, the kind of structure of their batting innings was so important for me to realise that they've arrived at a big game, and not only have they realised it's big, they've really put a strategic plan together and delivered it. Look, now on the other hand, I want to know what's happened to Quinton de Kock. Is he injured? Is he ill? Clearly there's an issue there. The batting order changes, just a little bit too much tinkering. Probably overthought it for me, look now, but Mumbai are so dangerous with that batting lineup, and now with this bowler that Pommie's been telling me for the last few weeks, what a bowler we have. And to think, 5 for 5, is that the best fifer? Has someone beaten that in IPL history? Has there been a better fifer?
Nobody. That is the best fifer. I'll tell you something. There are two Akashas on the ground today. One Akash owns Mumbai, and the other Akash owned Lucknow today. That's Akash Madhwal, and he is our Omni-Gel relief and recovery performer of the match. And why wouldn't he be? 5 for 5. He has bowled 21 balls, 17 dots, 5 runs, 5 wickets. Could you wish, hope, pray for a better game than this?
He's not going to get it again. I think you could comfortably say that. He's not going to do that again. Yeah, 5 wickets in 21 balls. It's ridiculous. Already in this sort of game, in the 2020 game, you're saying, how you wish you could have one more over from your best bowler, You just give him one. He bowls 5, everybody else bowls a maximum of 4 sort of thing. And he hasn't even finished his 4 overs, and he's knocked 5 over. That's absolutely incredible. And he's right on target, gave them the really good start in that, the way he bowls. I think as we've gone along, we've discovered more about the guy. And I also think, despite their wonderful scouting, Mumbai Indians, I don't know if they knew what a gem they had.
Yeah.
Because they're in this position of sort of having to play him, not because they necessarily wanted to, but because they've had to have a fallback plan with Archer being injured. They obviously didn't have Bumrah right at the start. So they had to kind of look into their reserves to say, what do we have? Who can we use? And not right from the beginning. They tried everybody else before they got to him.
Yeah.
And when they got to him, as I said, I remember seeing him the first time thinking, hold on. This bloke at the back, not at the front of the game, at the back of the game, he'll knock people over. And he's shown us that since he's been included, and then just turned up with a few skills up at the front as well.
I actually think stories like this tonight, Cameron Green going for all that money at the auction, it brings flamboyancy. It creates headlines because a young Australian all-rounder has gone for loads of money. Brilliant, love it. But stories like tonight are better.
Yeah.
This kid is 29 years of age, 2 or 3 years ago, you'd have thought, I'm never going to get a chance.
Yeah, base price pickup.
Never going to get a chance. He's now got 5 for 5. He's taken Mumbai into the semis. He's bowling. His skill levels are fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got the skill. He's got the pace. He swings that new ball away from the right-hander. We've seen him tail it away from left hands. We've seen him get the ball to tail back in when the ball's a bit older. He bowls a sharp delivery. He's got a few good slower balls. He clearly can handle the pressure because he's playing for the biggest franchise in terms of pressure is Mumbai, because everything that comes with it. They'll look after him. He's at the right franchise to be looked after as well, because what's he on, 20 lakh?
Yeah, that's it, base price.
He'll get back into the auction. And it's not about the money at this stage, but he'll get looked after. But I think stories like we say, and also stories like Surya Sharma at KKR, they're the stories I think that we don't talk enough about, because maybe they won't grab the headlines, but really the IPL gets a lot of attention because of all the star names. MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, pretty much 75% of TV is about those two, let's be honest. But there's so many backstories of so many young Indian players. They're getting the chance to play in this fantastic tournament, and not only playing, delivering. There's a number of them. You can go through every team, and I reckon you can pick out one or two or three that you go, I didn't know much about that player or that player a year or so. I didn't know much about that player 2 months ago, but look at him now. And they're the stories I think that's really special for Indian cricket. And that's why I always say, and I don't pick on India, I think, why haven't you got the best cricket team in the world across every format? There's so much talent in this country.
It's a problem.
So many to pick from.
It's a problem.
That's the problem.
Too many.
Too many. Should have 4 teams. 4 regional teams, and they all play international cricket. I reckon you'd be better.
I'll tell you what, it would be like the US having the World Series amongst their own teams.
I think it'd be better. There wouldn't be.
We are the world.
And I'll tell you why it'd be better, because you've got enough players to pick 4 teams, and there wouldn't be as much politics.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to mention that.
No, but the fact is that that's never going to happen, even if you have 40 teams. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you've lost us. Well, that was him, Akash Madhwal, tennis ball player, 29 years old. He's played less than a dozen first-class games. And here he is today, Omni-Gel Relief and Recovery Performer of the Match. He ensured that there was no dud for fans.
Yeah.
Plenty of pain for Lucknow. Yeah. He was Dr. Max Payne today for Lucknow. Really destroyed them. 5 for 5. The best for Mumbai, by the way. Just been whispered in my ear.
Yeah.
By the Angels. Is 5 wickets for 10 runs, Jasprit Bumrah. And the best 5 for, he's tied it, the great Anil Kumble, 5 for 5. I think that was back in South Africa.
That was in South Africa.
South Africa back 2009. I remember that game. 5 for 5. So, August Company, young lad. August Company. His name is Akash, which translates to sky. So there you go. He's soaring 2 skies today, right? A sky in batting and a sky in bowling. So you know that this team is definitely soaring. All right, let's have a look at what the rest of the bowlers, there were a few other bowlers as well. So let's have a look at what they did. It's not like they phoned it in today. They were really on. They were just all on. Ritik Shaukin bowled that 6th over, last over in the power play. Came in front of Stoinis. You can't blame him, because obviously Stoinis was going to go for him to encash that power play. So he was a little expensive. But otherwise, everybody, even Chris Jordan in the end has gotten away. Akash Madhwal's figures just look insane. They look like a typo, to be honest. But that's what it was.
I reckon Shaukin bowling that over was the only thing that was wrong with Mumbai today.
Yeah.
To think he bowled the last over of the power play and you had Stoinis out there. All right, Pandya was out there as the left-hander, but you had to think that Stoinis was going to get down the striking end.
Yeah.
That was almost like a little gift on a plate to Marcus Stoinis, and he kind of capitalised by hitting it for 18. But other than that, you'd say that was a near on 9 out of 10 performance from
I think
Mumbai.
you had something to do with him bowling the 6th, because of his 18 runs, it came to your power play prediction. And you won.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody. Oh, that Michael. Yeah.
Speech?
No.
Yeah. No speech.
And you're waving to the pigeon on the roof over there, so I don't know.
There's a bit of paper dangling down. I'm trying to think, what is it?
Is it? Really?
It's like it's going to fall on your head.
Yeah.
In a game.
Now, those are the joy factor questions and answers that are hanging up there.
You done with all of that?
Yeah, we're done, yeah.
Are you? Am I?
Are you going to be serious now and talk the cricket?
Are you going to be serious now?
Not serious.
We'll leave.
We'll talk about cricket, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll take it.
Yeah, in a game where you're defending 9 and over, and basically no one in the bowling attack goes at 9s, none, 0, bar the 1 over that probably shouldn't have been bowled then by that bowler who goes for 18. The rest, I mean, you look at that, look at those figures. Yeah. So everyone's winning the game for your team.
Yeah.
whatever the number of overs they've bowled. That's total domination now.
But you look at that, Pommie, that bowling attack there, Berendorf, decent. Jordan Green, Shakeen.
Yeah, nobody's kind of screaming at you.
If you're at the start of the IPL and you see that list of bowlers and go, chance of winning it, you've got no chance.
Yeah.
That bowling attack's not got a chance of winning the IPL, but it has.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I think because of this juggernaut of a batting unit, I think when you have such a strong batting lineup, I think if you've got an incredibly good bowling attack, your batting line doesn't have to be as good. If you've got an incredible batting lineup, your bowling doesn't have to be quite good, because I think either or can intimidate. And I think this batting line can really intimidate the opposition.
Yeah.
Send a few shivers.
True.
Sleepless night knowing that you've got to face the next day this kind of powerful lineup. So it just shows you that you don't always need both sets and both facets to be absolutely spot on. If you've got an outstanding section of batters or bowlers, you can be really competitive in T20 cricket.
It's interesting.
And to go with the same sort of point and seemingly harp on what is said before, to say this is how I think that the regulation of the impact player ought to be used. So at the time, what we were talking about and what I was saying, and Mumbai, I think, used it to perfection today, because we spoke about the problem of plenty, right, where they've got this batting lineup, and you could argue that they don't need to have a Nehal Wadera come in, because Tilak Verma comes back and he joins Rohit. Maybe you cast him aside and you maybe expect he might do something on the day, but if he doesn't, he doesn't. Ishan, Cameron Green, Sky, Tim David, so there's a lot, right? But you look to capitalize by then adding an extra batter.
Yeah.
In the same way, let's shift it around and say, let's say you choose to bowl first in a scenario where you feel, okay, the surface says we should bowl first and we'll chase later. And you have a team on the ropes. Instead of thinking, we'll save a batter for later, you make a sub, bring on a bowler to capitalize it. Say it's spinning or whatever the case may be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think today we kind of saw an example of take the initiative, use the impact sub, make an impact sufficient enough to then put you ahead of the game, so far ahead of the game that you end up when you win by 80 runs. That's a lot.
The Knight Riders did this though with their bowling. They, I think, took Harshit Rana or Vaibhav Arora, one of their new ball bowlers up front, took him off in the 12th to 13th over and got Suya Sharma in. Right? So they've done it with the bowling as well. Yeah. But very little. You're seeing that this year, impact subs have mainly been used in the second innings, saying, we're batting first, so we'll go one bowler shot and get a bowler in. But it's quite interesting, the way Mumbai has played it today and the way Knight Riders played it in that game. It will be interesting when you see it that way.
Yeah, I mean, this Mumbai team, you think about the next venue they're going to play at.
Ahmedabad.
Quite high scoring.
Run scoring venue,
Which team in this year's IPL have trained their brains to get over 200 regular?
Yeah.
The Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
They're the side. Their roles and their skill set and their mindset from the get-go is to get 210, 220.
And Gujarat has chased reasonably well as well in the last 2 years, that season, this season. So are you saying that whoever chases wins?
It could be.
It could well be so.
It could be the reverse of what we've had in the last two nights.
Yeah. At that ground, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, right? If you turned up there and whatever you put on, the other guys are quite happy to go at. And both teams, I'd argue that both teams are chasing teams.
Yeah.
Certainly Gujarat, with the way that they kind of bat long and seem to try and shift everything towards those guys who are towards the bottom, and they do the job. I say they shift it, but they've got a great start up at the top.
Correct.
So they set it up, and sometimes they finish up at the top. But similarly, Mumbai bat so long too that it doesn't matter what you're setting them. They've got the power and staying power in that Sky, with the way he plays. He'll maneuver it if he needs to, and if it doesn't work, these other guys will come with their power and they'll just smash it. So good contest, I think, between the two sides.
We'll get to that in a second. Let's just talk about Rohit's captaincy right now, because here is a captain who knows a thing or two about playing finals, about being in the playoffs, about lifting trophies. And today, besides the fact that one over we're talking about, the last over the power play to Ritik Shaukin, I don't think in captaincy he's put a foot wrong today.
No, I mean, I think his captaincy in terms of on the field throughout the whole of the IPL has been excellent. You know, his batting's nowhere near.
Yeah.
He's nowhere near the form that we've seen.
300 odd runs now.
In previous years. You can just see he's not playing with the confidence that we've seen him. He's not had a run of high scores. He's doubting himself just a little bit at the minute. It happens.
Yeah.
But in terms of captaincy, I mean, he's clearly got that. You know, I don't look at him on the screen and feel that he's ranting and raving. I don't see that, you know, he shows a bit of emotion when things go slightly wrong. I've seen more emotion tonight than I saw in the previous game, and I think we'll see more on Friday because it's that end of the tournament. But he's just got it. You know, it's very hard to say to the kind of outside what it is that captains have when they've got it. That, you know, MS, he just has it.
Yeah.
You know, it comes naturally to him. Hardik Pandya actually very early in his captaincy reign looks like he's got it. Rohit Sharma for many, many years, you see that he's just got the respect of his team. You can see that every decision he makes, they don't doubt. You know, I'm sure he's got a few lieutenants in his team that he just goes and picks the brains. What do you reckon? What you in between overs, and they'll just give him a few tips. He'll gather the thoughts of the information that's just come to him, and he'll go, right, I'll make the decision. He makes the decision. You never ever see anyone in his team kind of look bemused why the decision's been made.
Yeah.
And that always for me is that the key to captaincy is even if you're not in control, make sure your body language is that you are in control.
Right.
So a lot of it is about acting, because there's no way that you get every decision right.
Fake it till you make it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because one thing is guaranteed in cricket when you're captain, everyone's watching you.
Yeah, true.
All the team are watching you, all the supporters, all the cameras are on you, so you've got to fake it till you make it. And Rohit Sharma, because this year, let's be honest, a few games ago, they were gone.
Yeah.
like generally the Mumbai Indians are, but there's something in that dressing room that they have this spirit, and that has to come from the leadership group. And you look at Mark Boucher, replaces Mahela Jadhav, and he's just kind of slipped in there. He's sat in the chair. He's not said too much, but I'm sure behind the scenes he's doing a tremendous job with all the backroom team. I saw the Mumbai documentary a few years ago. Were you involved in that? No. It was very good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Maybe that's why.
And you could see actually the operational side. It's not just the players, it's the backroom and it's the owners. They create very much a family.
Yeah.
And you can see that from
But it's true, they have it in their tagline as well, one family. They keep talking about that a lot. So it is. And you're so right what you said about Akash Madhwal, right? It doesn't matter if they got him at base price, they will take care of him because they take care of their players. And we've heard enough stories, there's enough evidence out there, enough testimonials out there that they take care of their players, whether it's, their training, rehabilitation, whatever it is. They may pay X for a player, but they might end up spending 10X in his development or, his rehabilitation. So they definitely do that, and it's paid off.
I will say that.
Semi-final.
Yeah, but there's a number of franchises that are doing the same.
Yeah, true.
You know, a lot of the England players that come, I always ask them, did you enjoy your time? They say, absolutely. I said, you get looked after? Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, when the families fly out, they look after all the kids. You know, they get them involved in the team room. They get them on social media. You see Joss Butler's little girl on social media. They really, really look after players, the IPL teams.
Yeah. With Mumbai, of course, going to be playing the semi-final. But for Lucknow, well, it's the end of the road here. Let's see what their batters did today, because they all came. They all came and they all went. And it was a bit of mumbo-jumbo today, wasn't there? With the batting order up and down. Yeah.
We said, when it started, we said that, the fact that Quinton de Kock's not there is a bit of a shock to us. Must be injured, must be ill, must be something, right? And I guess that disrupts a whole lot. But instead of a case of just slot in, one slots in and the other goes out, there's a shift, isn't there? There's a whole shift of stuff going on. And it says jumbled minds. It says not set on whatever we've been doing before. But then again, when you say whatever you've been doing before, what you've been doing before is kind of juggling things about, shifting this here, shifting this there. The tournament has shown over the years that the teams that are kind of most consistent in terms of selection, in terms of role definition, they're the ones that do the best. They're the ones that come through at the end, right? So if you're going into such a big game and you're giving some people new roles, or you're putting new people in to play certain roles when they've been sitting on the side, it's going to be quite difficult. Not as an excuse for players, but you do need kind of some sort of a run-up when you're in a tournament like this.
Got something for you. just reading it on the Cricbuzz app right now. Krunal Pandya after the game has said, Quinton is a quality batter, but Mayers has a better record here, so we went ahead in the playing 11 with him.
That's a stupid decision.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Well, that absolutely proves what Pommie's just said. We said at the start, if Quinton was injured, I understand, or he's sick. But if they've not picked Quinton de Kock in a game like this, because of some, what's the reason? Stats.
Yeah, he's saying that Mayers has a better record at this ground.
So do you know? Often you ask this question when you're trying to select players. Which player don't they want? Your opposition. If you're putting a batting lineup down, which player don't they want to bowl at? Right? Early doors. Start the game. Which player has won games?
Yeah.
Which player has turned up in India and won games? And I'll tell you this, that Mumbai Indians would be looking across at Lucknow and saying, we don't want to play Quinton de Kock. Never mind the record that he has where he hasn't actually taken them down at any point yet. Because they know, having invested so much money and time in him having won championships for them, that he's bound to bite them at some point. So when you don't play him, one less headache.
I reckon if you sat with all the international captains, and let's throw in the vice captains as well. So say you've got 20 cricketing brains in the room, and you said, go on, pick the 5 players at the top of the order in T20 cricket, in world cricket, that you don't want to face in your fear. I guarantee Quinton, on any surface, not just in Joburg where he crashes the ball, but on any surface, I would be staggered out of the 20 names in that room that had a pen and paper. Go on, you write your names down. Top 5. I'd be staggered if 90% of them don't put Quinton de Kock.
Yeah.
Staggered. I know England absolutely fear the life of Quinton de Kock.
Yeah.
They fear the life because they know he impacts every ball.
And
They know he impacts.
And it's not. So I like the statistics, and we've sat here and we've spoken about how this game is about the numbers a lot of the time. But you can't quantify temperament. It's impossible to quantify it. And when you just have games, you can look, and over a period of time, you'll see certain numbers. But the nuanced sort of examination of those numbers will have you trying to understand when certain scores are attained.
Context.
Yeah, all of its context. And also, when we talk about the impact of a player, we often say, which guy can win the game on his own?
Yeah.
And there are certain players who have done it over and over again for various teams. India, okay, so you can name many people. We've been saying that about Rohit, right?
Yeah.
We'll say that about Sky. We're seeing a young Cameron Green showing us that perhaps he can do that. There's a Tim David. We know he can do that. Jump onto GT, Hardik Pandya doing things. Then ask the question, Quinton de Kock. He's one of those players.
Yeah.
And you have him in your setup. And this season, they'll kick themselves because they haven't used him well. Yes, they've got to the Eliminator, but they've not used him well.
Yeah. If you were to round up Lucknow season, because their season's done, if you were to do a good old-fashioned report card, are we doing the report card? Do you have it? You have the report card? If you were to do old-fashioned report card, what would you give their batting through this season? Let's start with their batting.
Well, I'll put it all in one bag. I think they've, if you said at the start of the IPL that you'd finish 4th, I mean, you don't want to lose this game, but I think they'd take 4th.
Yeah.
I think there's better teams. I think there's more teams that are better than Lucknow.
Yeah, finished 3rd.
Yeah. Well, they've ended up 4th because...
Fair enough, yeah, all right.
That's...
Yeah.
You get to this stage and you think, we're only a few games away from lifting the trophy. But I think in terms of paper, of everything that they've got, I think they've done well. But the Quinton de Kock, I just baffled. I just can't get my head around the fact that you're picking someone on previous history. It's about today. So Manchester City lost to Real Madrid last year at the Bernabeu. Did they go back a few weeks ago and think, we can't pick any of the players from last year because they lost? I mean, it doesn't make sense. No, they're playing great at this time this year, so you play them.
Yeah.
I mean, Quinton de Kock's playing great at the minute. So I do think they've got to be careful, and I think they've got a management group that's very clever on cricket, but sometimes you can have too many brains, and you can have too much info and too much overloading and too much tinkering. I don't think you need that. But in terms of where they've finished, I think they won't like it now, but I think fourth is quite a good result from them.
What do they call it? Analysis paralysis?
Yes.
Yeah, there's that when you crunch the data too much. So if you were to just sum it up, overall their performance, let's not break it down, but if you just give them a mark out of 10
I'd
for
say
this
8.
season.
I'd say 8.
8?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Pom?
7.5, 8. I think 8's an A. And I don't know, maybe we say an A is, an A is you qualify. So, 7.5.
Let's go B+.
Yeah, 75.
B plus.
75%.
But they're going to uni. They're going to uni.
Yeah,
They'll
they'll get in.
Yeah, they'll get in.
They got in.
They've not. I don't think they've got the. They're not going to do the course they wanted.
Yeah.
They'll be doing. I don't know.
There'll have to be some concessions.
So there you go, B
gonna have to
plus
do it-
for this season. But that is also what you're saying for next season, because you're saying B positive. Be positive for next season. But listen, they've qualified 2 years in a row for a new team.
Excellent.
Pretty good. Yeah. We can nitpick on some decisions here and there and the approach a little bit. But the fact is that they did well to get up till here. But today, well, they just ran into this Mumbai team, which was just steamrolled them completely. Okay, what is it looking like now? There are only 3 teams. There's Chennai, who's won it 4 times. Mumbai, that's won it 5 times. Gujarat, that's won it once, but 1 out of 1. So that's pretty good. So there's 10 titles out of 15.
That's outstanding.
10 out of 15.
That's outstanding.
pretty
It's
good.
quite staggering, actually, isn't it? Like, if you think about how you might build a champion side, right? Like, so many in various sports try to build what are champion sides, and they kind of huff and puff, and they got pieces missing, and they just can't quite get there. And it takes them a number of years, and then they get there. And then it's difficult for them to keep it together, because it's like this Everest moment, isn't it? You climb, you get to the top, woohoo! And then it's like, okay, let's go back down and let's do it all again. And it's difficult for people, because can you muster the energy again? Do you have the same hunger? Can you manage to do the same things over again to get you back to the top again? And oftentimes you can't. But Gujarat, here they are. One time done. Next time, here we are, top of the log again, and we're trying to go for number 2. I think it's a fabulous
It's all
story.
about consistency of leadership.
Yeah.
It's MS Dhoni and Stephen Fleming, it's Rohit Sharma, Mahela, now Mark Batch. Just consistency of leadership.
Yeah.
And when the players arrive, whoever the new player, they just see consistency. People know, just silly little things. People know where they sit in the dressing room.
Yeah.
So they arrive at the 1K.
They sit in the bus.
They just know. A new player, which seat's available? That one over there. Kieran Pollard, he's still here, but he's not got his seat, so you take, tiny team, you're going to take that seat. It's just simple things like that. They always talk about the 1%ers, but those 1%ers, when you add them all up, they really do matter.
Yeah.
And the 3, I know Gujarat aren't a franchise long enough to say that all these 1%ers, but already you can see they've got the building blocks in place to what Chennai have got, to what Mumbai have got.
Yeah.
Just real consistency in leadership.
Yeah, and those are the 2 teams, consistency in leadership, that are going to be playing the match on Friday. See, you can call it a qualifier, you can call it an eliminator, you can call it a semi-final. The rose by any other name will smell just as sweet. It will sweet only for one, be thorny for the other. Let's have a look at the teams and see what it's going to play out. Gujarat, well, this is interesting now, right? Because there's a little bit of talk. We spoke about this yesterday. They also got a little cute, right, with the batting order. Vijay Shankar had worked at 3 the previous game against Bangalore, 48 hours earlier, was not sent out at 3. Captain came at 3. Captain was just outfoxed by the opposing captain, right? You saw Ravindra Jadeja run across the field into that position, and it just played into, he's a master, MS Dhoni. I think it's okay, it's no shame. he's got a lot of people out. But then again, they sent Dasun Chanaka up at 4. We spoke about it in the com box. Hasn't even batted for his country that high. Vijay Shankar then came later. So they did a bit yesterday. Now my question to you is, are they making a couple of changes here? Are you seeing maybe a Josh Little come in? Right? Do you see that? There you go.
I see a Seamer, yeah.
Yeah, you
See
do.
a Seamer come back, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. And the Seamer, I assume, would be in place of a batter. So they probably go in place of Shanaka
Yeah.
rather than split up the Afghani.
You can get Josh Little.
spinners.
Then, if you've got Josh Little, because then you don't need Josh Little, Nalkande, Mohit Sharma, Mohammad Shami, and maybe Hardik Sobers. I don't know if you get them or not. Which means then maybe you can leave Nalkande and
Yeah.
bring an Indian batter up front. Because
Yes,
Sai
that's-
Sudarshan or Abhinav Manohar, both have not played.
Correct. So that's the way I'm going. So
Yeah.
Darshan Shanaka out, and then you need Indian batter in to
Sai
bring.
Sudarshan at 3.
Yeah, to bring Josh Little in.
So they've got two options. there.
Rashid Khan at 3.
Yes, please. I'm with you. Let's hear the votes.
Here he goes.
Aye.
Here he goes.
we have the ayes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
But if they do,
Eyes have it.
yeah, the eyes seem to have it for sure. But if we do that, then at the end of the game here, if they've gone down, we're sitting trying to be all too cute, changing things up.
They won't do. They won't do. But it's fun to talk about it.
Of course, and that's what we do here. Nothing we say has any consequence in the real world. We're just having fun. That's what we're doing. And fun says, Rashid at 3. Come on, make it happen. No. But realistically speaking,
Sai.
since they have had a problem at 3, Sai Sudarshan is the one who can kind of solve that for them, has done it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think that seems the way they'd go. Just the pitch, yeah, everything kind of leans that way. And prior to his departure, Josh Little brought quite a bit to them in terms of the angle of the left arm. It's a different kind of point of difference, and he's actually got some nice wheels as well. Bowls quite quickly, and he did a decent job for them. So yeah, I don't see that as a kind of too much tinkering. It was enforced. It was a forced decision because he had to go, right?
Yeah.
Now he comes back and he kind of just slot back.
They might fancy Little against Rowett,
Yep.
left armour.
Yeah. He has
Right
a
at the top.
little bit of an issue with left armers. Doesn't like them a little bit. So you may see that happening. But for Mumbai, so the first thing they're going to do is take Akash Madhwal, wrap him in cotton wool, transport him from Chennai to Ahmedabad, right? Buddy, you all right? Something to drink, perhaps? Yeah. And then, but no changes on that team, right? You don't see anything happening. Just play like this. Why fix it if it ain't broke?
I mean, I guess you've got to get to Ahmedabad, make sure you assess the conditions, the dimensions, the pitch. It's going to be different, but I won't be making too many changes.
You can't. See, their batting is good on any surface. Yeah. There's no batter outside you'd say bring in. That's a gun batting lineup. It would just be about their bowling. But that's how, I don't see, when I see that list.
They're all right. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
I think they're
No,
fine.
I mean, you've got a choice. You want to get Kumar Karthikeya for Ritik Shokeen. He's not had a good game, but he's not had just pulled one over. So it's not like you can drop him because of a bad performance. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, depending on where he's at. I mean, younger guy and you know, how much has it affected him? What kind of guy is he generally? If he's a tough guy and is okay, you know, generally, he might go again. But if he's not, some guys, you know, get gun shy and you've got to see that. And within a camp, you'll be able to see that sending him back in and kind of having him and have another go is probably not a good idea. Then you do drop him and you go with somebody else. Yeah.
That's probably the only thing you see. Otherwise, I don't really think that they're going to make a change. Players to watch out for, one from each team. Pommie, you go first.
I'm going with Shami.
Shami from Gujarat, no surprise. Purple cap on his head right now. Rashid close on his heels. Go Gujarat, and then I'll go to Pommie from Mumbai.
For Gujarat, I'm going to go our man,
Rashid.
Rashid. He's going to have an all-round brilliant performance.
Rashid bhai, Rashid bhai.
For Mumbai, I'm going to go on the pitch is good, and I think it'll be close. And I think Tiny Tim's going to have a night out.
All right, Tiny Tim David.
Yeah, I'm going Cam Green for some more. Yeah, I think he's bat up at 3 again. I think he'll smash it again. It's been smacking it.
Nice. Surya Kumar Yadav and Hardik Pandya. Those are mine. Yeah. Okay. We've just got one last port of call, one last bit of business. It's a joy factor question and answer. I have them on a paper. Where's the paper gone? It's gone.
You said you knew this.
Yes. But don't anymore, I've forgotten.
And you didn't tell us
Said
the
it was
story.
45 years ago.
I think it was, yeah.
1970.
So this was when it was...
Seven, eight.
Sunil
1978.
Bishan Bedi sent the bowlers up front to just work away that time when the pitch was drying.
Oh, I
I
see.
think it was
yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Let's see the answer. Am I correct? Am I remembering the story correct? Somebody told this to me on my podcast, but there were many, so I've forgotten what the exact story was.
No, you're wrong.
I was
You're wrong.
completely wrong.
You are wrong.
That might have been against
It's
England.
not even 45 years ago.
Was that against
Not
England?
even the country. Nothing's right.
Oh,
Ah, it's my mate Danny Morrison. Get in there, son. Danny Morrison and Martin Sneddon.
I wonder what the story is there. It must have, what? Did they just follow on or something? I don't know.
They just stay there,
Yeah, carry on, you know.
as you were.
Was it against England?
Joy should have actually told us a little more, but we have Joy with us next game, so we'll just quiz him on this.
I think it might
We'll
have
just
been
ask
against
him.
England.
Pommie, I'll call you and tell you what the answer.
Please call me and tell
I'm a
me.
little curious
Very,
about this.
very interested.
I'm curious.
I'll ask Danny.
Yes. Do you think Joy will know it, Danny, perhaps? Danny will remember it.
Danny will have a story.
Danny will remember it.
He'll have a story.
and
He'll have the story.
He'll have these two.
And Joy will have a story.
Yeah, true. Ask Danny at breakfast, because there's a lot of time there for him to tell the story over his 17-course breakfast.
Is that what he has? Does it?
What?
He has a 17-course breakfast.
Man, he's a champion eater.
Yeah, dosa, lassi, eggs,
Yeah.
cereal, fruit,
Prawns. Bring them over. Yeah. Oh, have you got some beef cutlets? Bring them over. What about the veggies? Bring them over. Oh, have you given me my omelette yet? Can I have that?
I tell you, you'll know if Danny's staying in the hotel because his picture will be at the buffet, breakfast buffet. This man not allowed. No, he's in the hotel. All right, who gave the correct answer first? Bring it up. Lovejoot Singh. Love it, Lovejoot. Well done. Congratulations to you. What is that number? It was 22 or 5. Were you born on the 22nd of May in 2002?
That is possible.
That's what it is. 2002. It's 21. Well done, buddy. People born in 2000s are in their 20s?
Yeah.
All right. Bring my walking stick. I need to go home. Put my dentures in a glass. All right. That's it. Time for us to go. Big thank you to Pommie Mbangwa. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, cheers, Juan.
As ever, it's been an absolute ball. As ever, man. And I tell you what.
Yes.
It was the risotto. Many years ago. Yeah. I say many years ago like it was a different time. You know, before the pandemic, it was a different time, right?
It was.
Yeah, it was the beef risotto. It was outstanding. Yeah. Now, it's the wasabi prawns. I'll be dreaming of wasabi prawns when I get home, you know? Yeah.
We are going to order that for dinner on Friday, and we're going to video call you.
Yeah, send me a video. Yeah, it'd be good.
We're going to do that. We'll call you.
We're good.
Travel well. Thank you
you.
so much for being here.
Thank you.
We hope to see you soon.
Yeah, indeed.
And to Mr. Michael Vaughan, you are right here. You're sleeping in the studio.
I'm just going to snooze off. I'll see you Friday.
Yeah. And if you follow him on social media, you'll know he'll be on the side of some road getting a shave, getting his hair fixed.
That's Saturday before the final.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going back.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back. I've booked in.
You booked on the side
You don't
of
have
the
to,
road.
but I told him 10 o'clock Saturday morning I'll be there.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, I just told
So
him.
you do know the finals on Sunday, so don't show up on Saturday. There's going to be nobody here.
No, just... Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me that.
You want to come Saturday, no one's stopping you, but we're not going to be here. You're not going to be here as well. But you're going to be here on Sunday. But before that, you're going to be here on Friday. That's day after tomorrow. In the evening at 7, we're going to be here on Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur, and there's only one thing to say to you. It is good night and good luck and God bless. I said 3, I'm so excited all the time. Just cut the...
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction,
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ
হায়দ্রাবাদ সুপারফাস্ট এক্সপ্রেস পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दो